We're about 96 degrees.
Woo! It's hot. It's even more hot there than it is here.
I
So I
love it though. I ain't
I can't
complaining.
complain.
I love the heat, so I ain't complaining.
It's hot, hot, hot. Let me get this thing on up here. Let me get this straight. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers. Tell them who you are, what your name is, and how long you have been practicing polygamy.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. Nice to meet y'all. Not in person, but nice to meet y'all. Thanks for joining us. My name is Moses. Everybody call me Ras Moses. Cause of my faith, I'm a Rasta, so we normally take on the name Ras in front of all, all given names.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes. So polygamy for me, it's been in my family and I guess in my culture for as long as I could remember.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from the earliest days, from all like grandparents, great grandparents, they did it. They just didn't call it polygamy,
What did they
but
call it?
they didn't call it anything.
Okay.
Grandpop just had two and three and four different, wives, and that was just that. It was the norm. It was accepted, and I grew up seeing a lot of that. My dad, he was, I wouldn't say the ideal polygamist,
Mm-hmm.
but he was the dude that went around, had a bunch. I mean, he did take care of his kids, but he had a bunch of kids with a bunch of different women. So he had like, five by five kids, five different women,
Okay.
maybe more, but that's what we know.
Okay.
And I think that kind of stuck with me because of the fact that all all of his children mothers, they
Mm-hmm.
all got along. My mom, my brothers and sisters' mom, they all got along. We had like, big family functions and everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
No beef, no and I think that resonated with me early. And then I didn't really start polygamy until like I'll say like my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Um I got my heart broken really, really bad
Wow.
because I thought, I was a player and all of that, and running around doing all the things that you're young, you think you're the fly guy, you think you all of this, and
Right.
I had that one heartbreak that just sat me down and be like, oh, so
Wow.
that's how it feels when you do that to somebody else.
Wow.
And I think from that I was like, I know me, my energy, my needs, and all of that. I'm not a one woman type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so anybody I deal with from here on, I'm gonna let them know from jump, like, listen, this is how I am. This is how I operate. I'm not a one woman guy. If you want to, us to have a relationship or whatever, you're gonna have to accept other people in my life as well.
Wow.
And that was pretty much my beginning, and I've been doing it ever since, and it's been great for me. It's been a relationship that work out, some don't work out. It's not no set code like in a box where, oh, this is how it's gonna be and everything's gonna be perfect. No, it's not that. It's pretty much the same as a monogamous relationship. You have the same problems, the same issues, and all that. It's just multiplied. And you as a person, male or female in this lifestyle, have to be prepared for that like beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing like, okay, I'm dealing with more than one people. These problems gonna come, these issues gonna come. It's gonna be bickering, it's gonna be jealousy, it's gonna be I need more time. It's
Wow.
gonna be all of that. But you have to prepare yourself to deal with that if you wanna, say this is the lifestyle you wanna live.
Okay. I got a question. So, what are some of the misconceptions? Because I get a lot of men saying, I want to be a polygamy.
Mhm.
What are some of the misconceptions of polygamy that you hear a lot of people saying that you're like, it doesn't work?
Um, Number one, polygamy does not fix monogamous relationship problems. Like people think, okay, I'm monogamous, I have these problems, it's not working out, I'm gonna be polygamous. If you can't handle dealing with one person, don't try to deal with more than one. It's it's just going to multiply. You know, the issues and um the complications and everything like that. It's not like, oh, well, polygamy is the answer to failed monogamy. It's not. Polygamy is something that you have to wholeheartedly go into, but at the same time, there's issues and everything else that comes with a normal monogamous relationship. You have in polygamy as well. Another thing that people think that polygamy, well, polygyny, which I practice, one man, multiple wives. Um, People think that, oh, he's the man, he could have all the sex in the world, he got all his women. Nope, not at all. Women, well, we most of us know as adults that women connect, and women that are close to each other, they connect even more on a spiritual, moral level, even a physical level. So let's say you have two wives. They're because, and they're close to each other to become sister wives. They're almost like family. Their cycles, menstrual cycles, sooner or later, are gonna become almost intertwined, if not like days apart. So then, as a man, you have to be prepared to deal with two women going through that stage, going through, the mental, the physical, everything that comes with it, and you have to deal with that because you chose this. So it's not like a better road. Be like, oh no, this one is getting on my nerves and her cycle is on right now, so I'm gonna go to the next one. Nah, because the next one cycle is gonna be like right behind or right next to that one cycle. And also sometimes people think like, oh well, she getting on my nerves, I'm gonna leave her, I'm gonna go to the other one. No, because they're already on the phone speaking together. If you're not living in the same house, they're already talking to each other. So more so, it's honestly, and from what I've known and from other polygamous family I've known, the women form a very tight bond, which is great, family wise and all that. But as a man, sometimes you want this one to be like, all right, don't worry, she just getting on your nerves. I got your back. But they form a tight sister bond, and you just have to learn to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's you just have to learn to deal with that. So it's not like oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna sex this one and sex this one. Nah, it ain't that, not at all.
So you feel most people go into it just for the sexual aspect and not really for the relationship part.
In this day and age, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Having joined a bunch of different groups and having spoken to a lot of different people, is like people want threesomes. That has nothing to do with polygamy at all. They just want to be out here wild and freaky and sexy and all of that. That has nothing to do with it. Polygamy is family based. It's about having a father figure in every house because of the fact that women outnumber men by far. So you have a husband that you could share with somebody else, and these children, for whatever reason, they all have a father figure in their life, and you have that male role model and that man to back you up and support you and all of that. It's definitely, it's not a sexual based thing. It's family oriented. And a lot of people misconstrue this, but and you go on, like a lot of these sites be like, oh yeah, polygamous, and nah, they're just freaks that want to have their good time or whatever. It has nothing. Now, whatever a person's sexual preference is, that's on them. But don't use polygamy, which I've seen a lot. Don't use polygamy as a cover for you wanting to go out there and have your little freaky whatever you want to have. It's not based on that. It's really not based around sex. It's really based around family and community building.
question. So can a man, do you feel like a man has to be a leader or prove that he's a leader prior to getting into these relationships, or is it something?
Definitely, definitely.
So he,
If I mean, as men, we're naturally egotistic, but beyond that, you have to put in the work. You have to show that yes, I'm a leader. Yes, I'm a provider. Yes, I'm a caretaker. Yes, I'm going to be there for you, like financially, physically, whatever needs to be done. Yes, I'm going to set a good example for the kids. All of that. Like as a man, you have. If you're not a leader, you cannot do this in no way, shape, or form. You can't just be like, oh well, I'm gonna. No, you definitely have to be a leader, and especially when you have children involved, then they need to see like that man is there for the whole family. He's supportive, he's protective, and he's providing. If that's not there, then um you're just there as a boy toy, pretty much.
what's the hardest thing about being a polygamist as a male?
The hardest thing. Um for me, it will be those moments where, so in our family we have younger children. It's those moments where one wife needs you here, and because we don't share the same household, we have two separate houses. So for me, it's where one wife needs you here and another one needs you here, and it's you got to decide which is more important, or where can you get to first, or what can you do first, like before anything else. It's tight, because it's like, okay, I'm going to go over here and be with her, or the baby's sick, but it's another baby sick over here. So which baby do I choose to go to first? And then which wife is going to react what way because of their emotional state? Like some will be more understanding, be like, no, go ahead, take care of that one first. But sometimes it's like, no, I need your attention right now.
Wow.
And sometimes it's coming from both sides. I need your attention right now. So what do? You can't split yourself in two, but you still have to make that decision. So to me, that's one of the most difficult things. And sometimes not even with the kids, just like they had a hard day at work. Both had a hard day at work. Who do I comfort first? And it's no set answer to that. It's definitely no set answer to that. It's something you just have to deal with in the spur of the moment and be like, okay, let me think about this, and let's go through this, and let me see the best way that I could take care of my whole entire family.
And how do you present this, like when you're dating, when you were in the dating stage and you decided, hey, I want to practice polygamy? How do you present this to
I'm
those
I'm,
women you?
I'm very, very blunt. I just straight up be like, I'm not a one woman man.
Wow.
And the funny thing that a lot of times, like when I was really dating, a lot of times it was always like, oh well, I can't deal with you and all of that. But I say a good 85% of the women that say, oh no, you're not a one woman man, I can't deal with you, they came back and spoke to me again. And I said to people a lot of times, it's like they like that challenge.
Oh, they try to make you a one woman man.
Yes, it's happened, and I've had quite a few failed relationships because of that, because they thought like, okay, well, nah, I'm gonna make him only want me, and be like, okay, I'm okay. First they say they're okay with it, and then they be like, I'm just trying to make him only want me. And then when they see like, nah, like he's really serious about this, then they fall back and fall off and be like, oh no, this is not what I wanted. But yeah, I'm very straight up with it. Like when I was dating, I'll let them know like, listen, this is how I am. This is what it is. Don't try to change me. I am not going to change, like
So,
at all.
so the women you are married to, were they already okay with it, or was it something that?
Um, One wasn't Rewa. She was not. into polygamy at first. Um, I guess it grew on her. Missy, she had I had seen something like when we were talking as friends where she was interested in it, and I was like, oh, ooh, okay. So yeah,
Who was okay? So prior to you meeting the second one, so their names are what's their names again?
Missy and Rewa.
Missy and Reba. Who's been with you the longest, Reba or Missy?
Rewa has been with me the longest. Yes.
How long has she been with you?
Um, almost 11 years now.
And then when did Missy join the picture, and what did that look like?
Missy joined the picture about 4 years ago.
And when you presented her, when you told Rewa about her, how did that go?
It did not went well. Not at all. No.
Can you walk me through how, like,
Almost got my head taken off.
so what did you do? Like, did you just say I'm dating this new woman? Like, how did you present her to your wife?
Well, at that time, I also had somebody else
Oh,
I was with.
Missy chimed in. Missy said it didn't go well at all.
Yeah, at that time, I had another wife that I was with, and I was with her and Rewa. We lived together, and I just felt the need for somebody else, and some changes and stuff like that. And I pretty much told after I met Missy, we were talking and all that, and then I pretty much told her I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna, I think I want to add somebody else, and yeah, I had to pretty much duck a couple bottles and stuff. Like, yeah.
So how long did it go before they actually, like, at first did they not get along? And if not, how long did it take before they
Yes,
started?
at first didn't get along, but it was work on both of their parts. Most of Missy put a lot of work into it and to break the barrier, and they actually went out and spent some one-on-one time together. Like went out eating and stuff like that. And once they broke that ice and got to know each other, that was pretty much it.
How many kids do you guys have?
Collectively we have 9.
Okay. You
Yes.
holding it down for nine kids?
Yep. The youngest is 2 weeks, the oldest is 16.
Woo. And do they work, or are you just the breadwinner and they stay at home?
They work. They both work.
Okay.
Work different jobs, different shifts. Yeah.
Okay. So who's taking care of the baby? So nobody's like, is she saying?
Well, yeah, the mom, Rewa's home right now. She's on
Okay.
maternity leave, so yeah, for a while.
What's the best part about polygamy?
The best part is literally just sitting and having your whole family around you, and like this is love. Like it's just a beautiful feeling. It's not nothing superficial. It's not nothing that you could be like, oh, this is way like it's nothing magical like they portray in movies and stuff like that. No, it's definitely work, but just having that feeling of family and togetherness, and everybody like just seeing all the kids get along, running to the park or what have you. It's that to me that's the best. That's home. That's heaven to me right there.
Do polygamists believe in divorce, or do you not?
It depends. So we don't practice polygamy on a religious basis.
Okay, so it's not.
We're right. We're more so on a African spirituality basis. So different people you ask who are polygamists, they will give you different answers. But just as in a monogamous relationship, yes, there's divorces and all of that. It comes with the people's faith. It comes with what they practice and what they believe in. But yes, it's definitely divorces and breakups and all of that.
And in your situation, do there times where Rewa or Missy get jealous of each other as far as you go, or
Definitely,
oh, still?
definitely, yes. It
Did
still
you give a
happens.
time, like an example of a time where they got jealous?
Um, so I love to go fishing.
Uh huh.
That's my outlet. That's my thing. If I go fishing with one and the other can't make it because of work or because of whatever, it's definitely a jealousy issue there. Or sometimes just going out on dates. One might want to do something, and the other might have wanted to do it before, and I wasn't mindful of it. So that becomes an issue. So it's not a perfect ride at all.
Is
It's
there one you show more attention to than the other?
um I can't say off the top of my head that I do.
Okay.
I definitely try to work and keep it balanced.
Hmm.
But thinking about, I can't say that I do.
Is there one you have more in common with than the other? Like you like, oh, this is like my. Do you know, or is it more so like
Um, Me and Missy do a lot more stuff together.
because you have more in common?
I would say that yes. More so on the basis of like being into Afrocentric stuff.
Hmm.
Yes, I mean Rue was into it as well, but she isn't fully into it as yet. She's still working her way there. So yeah,
Yeah, because Missy is here, so
yeah,
I just
she
can't
was.
put that out there. She's here as well,
Uh,
so. Where Reba, where are you? No, I'm just kidding.
she's with a
Uh,
baby.
why is one person? Somebody asked me to ask you this. Why is one person? Why is that not enough? Why do you need more than one woman?
Um, what's the best way for me to put this? I never found one woman who could satisfy all my needs.
Mm-hmm. What
Like
needs? Like, what are you when you say your needs? What do you mean?
on a mental level, on a spiritual level, I'm very high energy, like extremely high energy,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried, just dating one person, being one person. It doesn't work for me at all.
Mm-hmm. And then we
Like
also talked about the heartache at the beginning. You feel like that had something to do with you not wanting to commit to one person, all of your eggs in one basket. I think that has something to
mhm.
do with it as well. Just like if you're with
uh,
more than one, you don't have to deal with heartache. You think?
not really. The heartache part, I'm over that. I'm past that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just to me, I grew up with a big family, and I enjoy having a big family around me. So yeah, like it's just that I'm a lot to deal with, and in monogamous relationship I've tried before, women straight up tell me, you know what, leave me alone. You're too much for me to deal with. Like I've had it on several occasions. Yes, so yeah, having more than one wives kind of like balances me out.
Mm-hmm. Have
Like some people have one job and they go to work, they do the 8 hours, they come home, they're good with that.
mm-hmm.
Other people have two or three jobs and they just go from one job to the next and they got to stay busy and stuff like that. So I'm that guy that always got to stay busy.
You know what's funny? Missy said she would never have dated you monogamously. She said this works out for her as well.
Yeah, because yeah, she can handle too much sex. So
Oh, she said she would have never, but she seems very supportive though. Ah, have you ever thought about adding a like would are is two enough or would you ever consider adding more
um
people?
two is comfortable. Actually, a while ago I used to have four.
You had four?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
Um, it didn't work out. I think a couple of them were in for the wrong reasons,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't balance out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was also spreading myself too thin.
Wow.
I mean, I'm only one person. I work a lot of hours and stuff like that, and then to fully cater to everybody's needs, I wouldn't be able to doing that having four. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to like, give myself a reality check and downsize.
Mm-hmm. I had another question. So, we talked about you do let people know, hey, I'm not into monogamy, but do you let them know before, like when you see the interest happening, do you let them know at that moment, or is it one of those things where you just start dating that person, or do you let them know, hey, I'm about to date this person?
Nah, I definitely let them know beforehand. Like, listen, meet this person. I think they're interested. Blah blah blah. Because I've made a mistake of not doing that in the past, and came back and bit me hard. So
What, you just went off and dated someone thinking that the person had the that they should have known?
yeah, I mean, because in our community, I live in Philly. In our community, everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows who's what and all that or whatever. And me, I used to be like a promoter on
Mm-hmm.
the party scene and all that. So like anybody knows me knows. Oh yeah, that dude right there. He ain't a one woman dude. He got a bunch. But yeah, I found out that it's better to just verbalize instead of assuming people just know.
Mm-hmm. And well, we've talked about this, but I want to ask you just for viewers' sake. Would
Hmm.
you ever, if one of your wives wanted to add a male to the equation, would
No,
you be open? You
hell
didn't
no,
even let
hell
me
no,
finish the question.
no,
Why?
no way. Mm-mm. Only one line to a pride.
You said, "Oh my goodness, what you just say?"
It's only one line to a pride.
Wow. What? So there's no males being added.
No,
So
not over here.
where the data male that would be considered cheating.
That's cheating and the relationship is over. Yeah, no questions asked, no nothing. If I even think that you talking to somebody else, we're done.
So why is it okay for you and not them?
Because I let my position be known from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
This
Oh,
is how I am, and
so they should have let you know from the beginning, so that you can have a
yeah.
choice and you won't choose.
So right, if I'm not enough man for you, then I'm not the man for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you have a kid limit? Like, are you guys at some point going to be like, yeah, we got to stop having kids, or are you gonna pull them more?
24.
You're gonna have 24 kids
I would like to, but
a
you
piece,
know,
or
there's,
in all?
in all,
Okay, okay. 48
there's
kids.
nothing wrong with that.
48.
Yeah, whole football team.
Oh, y'all ain't playing. Let me go
Yeah,
to
but
the
I
chat
mean
for Miss.
that's in my mind, but it's not to say that it is gonna happen, or what I mean. We still gotta consider finances and
Miss
time.
said BS. One of your wives said BS. She said she was not having 24 kids.
Yeah, she said she keeps saying she's done, but yeah, we ain't done yet.
Oh, he said we ain't done, sis. So that means y'all have more kids on the way. And Missy is in the chat. Missy's one of Moses's wives. Missy, what is the best thing to you about being in a polygamous relationship with Moses?
Oh, this should be good.
Yeah, let's see what she says, you guys. She's in the chat. But she seems really happy. So I think that's
She
another
she
misconception
is
as well, that
she has a very bubbly personality.
yeah, people
Like
make it seem like it's a forced situation, but from what we're discovering is basically it's like you put what it is on the table, and either people can accept
Hmm.
it or move on. That way, no one feels like they're tricked. And I
Exactly, and that's another misconception a lot of people have about polygamy. They feel like women are being forced into this, and I'm not saying um that doesn't occur and that's not out there,
mm-hmm,
but most polygamous relationship is an agreement.
mm-hmm,
People choose to live this way. It's not like, oh, you got to live like this, or no, it's their choice.
mm-hmm,
And a lot of women are happy with this, and a lot of women have been shown that they're happy with this, but people who are not used to it think it's so taboo and it's so wrong and all of that. It really isn't. If it works for some people, it doesn't work. Like, I would never say it's for everybody. It's definitely not. You need a lot of backbone, and you need a lot of grounding and support for polygamy to work for you. It's
mm-hmm,
not a everyday everybody thing. But if you choose this lifestyle, then and you go along with it, it works. It takes work just as much as any other relationship or any aspect of life. It definitely takes work. It definitely takes dedication. It definitely takes sacrifice. It's definitely gonna try you and test you, and it's gonna be some wear and tear. But if this is what you really want and you apply yourself to it, it works.
and
And it might not be the person you wanted to work with at first. It might not be them people. Sometimes you got to go through breakups, and then you finally find the right partners, and establish yourself,
mhm.
and make that work.
Okay. So, Missy, your one of your wives said
Mm.
the reason she entered into you guys' relationship was the connection with you and her sister wife, and to become debt free by practicing group economics and national building. So it does take like you have to be in a good mental space and actually be working towards something, because like I said, I feel a lot of people in our society just want an excuse to deal with multiple women.
Hmm.
And but my thing is, why don't y'all just say, "Hey, I want to date around"? So they're
And that's
wanting
my whole thing.
commitment
Honesty is
without,
key.
huh? What did you say? Sorry.
I say honesty is the key.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, like, if you just want to be a groupie, or you want to have orgies, or you want to do,
A
just tell the person
groupie.
who you're dealing with, tell them that's what you want. But if you actually want a committed relationship with, two or more people, then you can work on that.
Mm-hmm.
What people just think, as soon as they hear polygamy, is a bunch of people, getting freaky together. Nah,
Sure.
that's not it.
Missy is wanting to come on, so to the stream.
Okay.
I'm not getting on camera.
Okay, no problem. Hey, Nancy,
Yeah.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. So you wanted to come on? Did you want to say something?
Well, it was just pretty much like just piggybacking off of like what I was saying as far as like why I wanted to come into polygamy or
Mm-hmm.
polygyny. So like I said in the chat was because of to build those bonds with another woman and him, and also to work on, because we're all actually entrepreneurs too. So like outside of our 9 to 5s, we all have like small businesses. Well, he has his own big business. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
he does. He owns his business. You know what I mean? But Rewa and myself, we own small businesses. She's looking into doing, like cleaning. I actually have a body butter business where we make body butters and soaps and oils and all that kind of stuff. But to become like debt free, you know what I mean? So when you have more people, so say if I'm in debt, right? We start working on my debt and my credit. We get my stuff out of the way. Then we'll start working on Rewa's. Then we'll start working on Moses. So you have more people. The more people you have, and not that you can't do this in a monogamous relationship, but it works for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Group
To
dynamics.
be able to be able to say, hey, this is what we're doing this month. Pull up the credit report. All right. we're going to knock this out, we're going to knock that out, and everybody collectively get together and do so. You know what I mean? Also, as far as like the whole nation building, if he want a whole bunch of kids, one woman can't do it. You know what I mean? I think we're almost tapped out. You know what I mean? Because it is financially taxing. But from like a nation building perspective, that too, because I want to be there, you know, for my sister wife and for my husband and for the children too, you know, because I am that person. But yeah, just to build those bonds and those connections for the most part.
Missy, how did you get into this? Like, did you just meet Moses? Or like, how did you guys meet, and how did you make the decision? Hey, I want to be a sister wife. Like, how did that come about?
Okay,
one
so I
time at
actually
band camp.
so I actually met Moses like in 2016 at a party. I didn't know anything about him at all. Didn't know anything about him. But that night we actually danced all night together that night. The entire night. Fast forward, we become
You
Facebook
can't dance.
friends.
Tell them that.
Shut up. Fast forward, we become Facebook friends. And then like nothing became of it. Like 2 years down the line, like in 2018, he had messaged me and he was just like, hey, yada yada yada. And then I never heard from him again. This was like in August.
Oh, you ghosted her.
Yeah, he did. He claimed
was
he didn't, but he did. And then fast forward to October, he was just like, you know, I've been watching you for a while and I like what I see. And, you know, I see that you've been, you know, posting different things about polygamy. And, you know,
you were waiting for the moment.
Right. And he was like, I do practice. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, I don't remember seeing any of that, you know, like on your page. He was like, no, I have 2 wives. And I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, but at the time I was seeing someone. So I'm just like, well, you SOL, friend. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing I can do here. So a few weeks later, that didn't work out so well. And then I've pretty much been with Moses ever since. Yeah.
I snatched her.
Yeah, he really did. He snatched me.
She sounds
he
very
has the gift of gab.
What's something you get from this, besides the things you've mentioned? What's something you get from this relationship that you didn't get from monogamy, besides the group building and the economic building and things like that?
Oh, that is a good question. For me, I think it was more so like the multiple partners. You know what I mean? Because at the time, like he said, when I first got with him, it was 3 other women. So I was the 4th one. So it was like building different bonds with different people for me, more so than anything. Also, you know, outside of like being monogamous, I only have that one person. With being polygamous, like I have, you know, 2 other people, where at the time I had 4 other people, you know what I mean, that I could date or go out with, you know what I mean, like different things. So it actually worked out very, very well for me in that aspect.
Okay. This is my last question before we wrap things up. When those bonds end, because unfortunately, the other 2 women did not work out. Does Missy, do you have to cut those individuals off, or like how does that work? Like once you, like, a wife doesn't work out, like do the other wives stay in contact, or do you guys just cut them completely?
Actually, I did stay in contact with one for a while, because her and I, we really did connect. You know, her and I, we really did have a lot in common. And of course, you know, you grow to love people over time. Just like he was my husband, she was my sister wife. You know, unfortunately, you know, they didn't work out, but you know, for a period of time, her and I, we did speak, but then I kind of realized, like, after a while, of the reason why her and I were back speaking, or why she was back speaking to me, was to probably try to get back to him, you know, so to speak. So, so I had to, you know, end up cutting that off. And then, you know, too, with Rewa being, with Rewa being there, you know, I don't want to make her uncomfortable either.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, she's my sister wife, and she is the one who I have my most loyalty to. You know what I mean? So with that, I couldn't continue to have a relationship or a friendship with someone who was no longer in our tribe and did not have our best heart at interest.
Okay, I said last question, but I got one more question. Someone else asked me to ask this question. Intimacy. So, intimacy, are you guys' relationships separate? Like, is it Moses and the women, or is it like everybody? Like, is everybody?
Moses, I'm gonna let you answer that one,
Yeah,
friend.
go ahead, Moses. Because we want to know, like, in polygamy, is it like separate, intimate relationships, or is everybody like?
Well, it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be set up that way. And I personally, from me personally, my sister wife does not have to be bisexual. You know what I mean? That does not have to be a preference. You know what I mean? That does not have to be her sexual preference. However, in times past, yes.
Go ahead, Moses. Go ahead and chime in. I know you want to.
No, but no, like Mr. said, like
we're acting ashamed. We done talked about polygamy for almost an hour. Don't act like ashamed.
it's no, it's not a requirement.
Okay, cool.
You know, and for different people, it works differently. You know, some people.
I'm asking about you all.
Oh, okay. Well, for us, we don't put no constraints on it. You know, so if we all
like, it does, if it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal.
Okay.
Right. Okay. We all want to have fun together. We do. You know, but it's not like a requirement or it has to happen this way or nothing like that.
I'm saying, is this something that ends up happening, or is it?
It happens.
Okay.
Yep. It happens.
I think I covered pretty much anything. Did you guys have anything left to say before we end live?
Not really. Just for anybody who is considering polygamy, make sure that you're honest with yourself first. Mm-hmm. Know yourself, know what you want, know what you expect. Also, know what you have to offer to somebody else before you even say, I want more than one people in my life.
Yeah, you know, that's a big deal.
It's hard enough dealing with one person. When you have, you know, more than one people in a relationship, you have to deal with each personality different, each emotion, and everything that comes with each person. So, you know, if you consider polygamy, just do some background check, do some work on yourself, make sure that you are ready for that, and you know you're ready to deal with whatever it brings. You know, it's pretty much like, well, not the same, but having a few different children. You know, everyone has a different mentality. Everyone has different needs. Everyone has different emotions, like all of that. So you just, you know, you prepare yourself for all of that. And see if it works for you. If it's not, then it's not for the weak-hearted.
Absolutely.
It definitely not. But I mean, when it does work, it works out beautifully. So.
And Missy, did you have anything to say before we end?
I do not. I think he pretty much covered it all.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
No, I'm thankful that you guys cleared up what it really means to be in a real polygamous relationship. Because as you stated previously, I feel a lot of people feel like it's just a sexual thing, and it's something that they don't present at the beginning. It's almost like, I'm in a monogamous relationship. I want another girlfriend. I want to do me. Yeah. So let me tell her I'm not into monogamy. You know, after a while, it's like, I'm bored. So let me see if she'll add another person.
Right.
Like you said, I think it's more so I want to get another person in our bed so it not feel bad about it. I want to have to explain it.
Right.
And then people try to label that as polygamy, but they need to call it what it is. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're swinging or if you're just having threesomes, it is what it is.
Maybe,
you know,
I think they're ashamed to say that.
Like, yeah, and people try to label it as that, and it's not what that is, you know.
And if I could add one more thing, don't ever go into a polygamous relationship for anybody else. If you're not doing it for yourself, and if that's not what you truly want, don't do it for nobody else. you could possibly ruin yourself trying to do that.
What do you
Like
mean?
make sure that's what you want. That's not what Oh, so your boyfriend wants to have two wives, or your husband want to have two wives, but you're not comfortable with it, and you
But you
don't
do
think
it
it's for
because
you.
you love him. A
Yes,
lot of
but
women do that.
and you do that, but then you're not happy.
Hmm. And it
So
shows. And it
all,
shows.
all, yeah, always make sure you're getting into it because you want to get into it and you're comfortable doing it, not because somebody else wants you to do it. That definitely that could lead to some devastating outcomes.
A lot of jealousy and regret,
Yes.
anxiety with
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's enough of that, just within the relationship itself, with just being human and just being a woman. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what women are going through who are just put in that position. I went into this knowingly, and I do have my moments of jealousy. I mean, it's human nature.
Yep. Definitely is. I mean, and this is the thing. Jealousy will a lot of people think about polygamy and be like, oh, they're looking for like a perfect picture of polygamy. It's no such
No.
thing. It's gonna be jealousy there. It's gonna be egos there. It's gonna be fits of rage and when people get mad and not getting along. It's all that is part of being human. You know, it's no perfect picture of polygamy, but when you're in it and you're fully dedicated to it, it makes it so much easier and make your goals and dreams and everything else so much easier to accomplish.
But there you have it, guys. Like he said, you have to have it somewhat together first. You can't go to it blind, not knowing what you're doing, just doing something for love. You have to have goals and a mission.
Hmm.
Like Missy said, you have to be open minded because it can be bad. But thank you guys so much. And this video, also you'll be able to see it in the future. It's also going to go on my YouTube channel as well. So thank you guys for joining me. Y'all
Thank you for
have
having
an
me.
amazing day. I'm about to end this live. If you wanted to stick around and want
Okay.
to compliment, stick around, but I'm about to end this live. Bye, you
Oh,
guys.